Okay. Okay, that was a little bit unfortunate there. Okay. Okay, that was a little bit unfortunate there. Okay. Okay, that was a little bit yeah, like the stream, guys. Real quick, we'll just do this real quick. Everybody knows what we're doing. Real quick, just like the stream. Everybody knows what we're doing. Real quick, just like the stream. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, real quick. Like the stream. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, real quick. Like the stream. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, real quick. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, real quick. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, just like that. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, just like that. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, just like that. Everybody knows what we're doing. Like the stream, just like that. Okay, my apologies. I started beating off out of frame and accidentally hit the button on my power bar. We won't be making that mistake again. My apologies. My sincerest apologies. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. It happens to the best of us, even Darkside Phil.
And she was like a Lyran/Mean that was in charge of Huculo. Or at least in charge or the spokesperson.
This was really interesting. Yeah, exactly. I get it. You guys all understand. You guys were probably doing similar things too. It just, sometimes you get excited. It happens. You should try harmonizing the stream one of these days. That would be cool if I could time it right. But yeah, I think it was just because she was mentioning this Huculo character who I'm pretty sure she said fucked her in space, and it's just like it's really activating some memories because my name is actually kind of close to that. So I was thinking, like, what if that was me? What if I'm remembering right now that actually that was me? So I don't know, just something I'm thinking about.
Huculo. And so I got a chance to. So he paid for our sessions in order to go. And essentially, I wanted to officially join because I didn't know. And they told me that someone already went around and asked, but I don't know if I responded or not, or or I was just basically looked over. I don't know how that happened. But I've essentially paid for in a session to essentially initiate myself to go to this group because I thought that it was a place where I could actually find answers about myself. So it's like the reason why I wanted to join was not only because I wanted to learn, but it was also a self-discovery type of journey for myself to discover more about myself on the reason why I was such an outcast. Because during my entire high school experience, people basically ignored me through high school. I basically got
Hugh, I hate to tell you this, but you're looking like Captive Dreamer. Is he a handsome, behatted man? This new Hugh body double isn't nearly as convincing as the old one. I don't know about that. We lost Up Your Arsenal. It's unfortunate. We had a lot of new, fresh blood in the chat, and they're all gone forever. Hope you enjoyed it while it lasted.
The silence treatment through all 4 years of high school. Like, no one wanted to talk to you. No one wanted to sit you at lunch. No one wanted to be in group projects with you. That's how my high school experience went. I was basically like the person that was entirely invisible during my 4 years of high school. So actually getting an attention from these beings or going on and the reason why in high school, like, no one
yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly, Ben. I was a super popular Chad, but I still kind of get what she was going through. And yeah, we were all the same way, and she so real for this. Real.
Around me in high school and stuff like that. So I was basically going there to get a self-discovery. So the very first memory that I remember having, because I don't know if my experiences overlapped or cause a lot of confusion or a lot of stuff, and this made me kind of realize that I might have become an accidental double.
But yeah, SSP Space High School can be so rough. Honestly, they should probably make like sexy high school anime about the SSP or something. I'm just throwing out ideas here. I'm just thinking out loud.
Double agent in this group. Because if I was connected to the programs and at the time I did not know anything about the SSP programs, I didn't even know that they existed. And so this made me kind of look back at the experience and the reason why I felt like I was a double agent. So the first experience that I remember is having a reptilian or a group of reptilians show up in my kitchen in the astral, or what looked like to be the kitchen of my parents' house.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say I
That
was
anime almost certainly exists, but link. Send the link right now.
scared, but I was like,
I ran with a gang of high-functioning autismos. Look at based. That's based.
don't know what's happening.
I ran with a gang of low-functioning autismos personally, but
I don't want to get. So it was like I was trying to protect myself, but I also was trying to like spy on like what was going on. So I kind of hid in like what I thought was the cubby center of the kitchen that I know where I could hide as a kid. And so I kind of hid there and tried to like be like a little spy about like what was going on, what I was doing there. But they kind of knew that I was there, but I don't think they knew whether or not I was scared. So so I don't really know what happened after that. The second experience is that I had an actual ship land in my parents' backyard. Not just one ship. I had one ship, I had a second one, and I had a third one
oh wow.
show up, which I will talk about those experiences later, but the first experience was having an actual ship show up and me holding back my dog. And I do believe that an Arcturian female in a
An
shared
Arcturian female.
came out
Oh, this is getting interesting.
and tried to introduce herself to me. And I was trying to be very, very kind and polite. And I was like, I'm so sorry. My dog is extremely hyper and excited and stuff. So that initially happened. The third memory that I remember is
when are we getting to the explicit stuff? Listen, not to be that guy, but we were promised some explicit content here. Let's kind of skip to that.
In a mass meditation retreat, and I remember that I might have slept through halfway through and then woke up and just nudging the other person like, "Whoa, what's going on? Like, what's going on?"
I mean, listen, guys, in a respectful fashion, feel free to drop in some respectful comments about your memories in the SSP here. She's not really getting the engagement that she deserves.
Then I had a dream experience where there was
I know,
a ray
Fats,
that
I
was
know.
trying to tamper with what was going on, and I was trying to warn people about it, but they didn't want to listen to me. And not only that, but a lot of the very strange or weird stuff happened. Like, not only I was in like a reptilian classroom where they were teaching us how to levitate, and there was like this being trying to like hold me down and stuff. And that is when a lot of strange stuff started to happen. I went to the cafeteria and I kind of figured out that no one wanted to sit with me because I thought it was very similar to high school. So I just sat down somewhere and be like, you're supposed to be on the other side because you're a human, but you're sitting on the hybrid. So they didn't really like care where I sat. There was some things that I kind of like questioned because they were trying to pin us together, but I do believe that they were also trying to recruit me into the hybridization program, which I didn't want to do and stuff. But I ended up starting to realize that I might have been becoming more of a double agent.
Yeah, Wallums. I'm not quite sure what the science behind it is, but yes.
Because
if that was even possible, which I'm sure none of us would have thought the answer was yes, but yes, somehow it did happen.
There were certain instances where I started asking questions and I started having a lot of relapses of information. So they will give me experiences, but I don't remember them. So then I would have an overseer that would come in and look at the memories that I've had. And they must have started figuring out that I was different because of the memories that was stored into me. So they had to be extremely like cautious. And that's when on the YouTube channel, that is when started to, because they started realizing or started to warn people that they were trying to recruit people because a lot of the SSP people or like the military folks started to show up or started to cause a lot of issues, or at least from what I started understanding. And that's when we had the Men in Black show up on our Zoom feed. So we had Agent M and we had Agent K show up on one of our channeling Sunday channel.
Wow, the Men in Black. Okay.
Sessions, and I was like, holy shit, we actually have the Men in Black show up. Because one is called Agent M and one is called Agent K. And I was like, that's like a code phrase for MK Ultra. Like, holy shit. And looking back, and I was like,
I mean, it sounds like both the movie and the organization, because I think those were the character names from the movie. But the movie was obviously Revelation of the Method, so they can both be the same.
Like, we didn't think anything of it, and I don't know if that.
Yeah, real Myron. Yeah, that was the path. FTM, SSP, definitely she chose correctly. Will Smith wasn't called Agent N. I don't know. He might have been. I can't remember. I think he might have been, yeah.
The video's still around. I don't even know if they even recorded it or anything like that. But I was like, holy shit. Like, that is a dead ringer for MK Ultra agents trying to come in and reprogram or
Okay, we got to be getting to the explicit stuff soon.
So
here.
That essentially happened. The next thing I know is that I remember having interactions with a cat being. This one was thankfully male, and he worked at the kiosk or the information kiosk. And I just remember a lot of women that would just come up and try to like drop off gifts for him. And they were like stuff that you would give to a cat being to see if he would like it. And I do mean like a lot of women dropped off gifts for him specifically. And I didn't start to realize that a lot of the beings there were telepathic. I just remember
we're not giving the left our beautiful Noid Void queen no chance.
I'll be like, and I was like thinking to myself,
man, it's so interesting how like we have almost the same number of subscribers on YouTube. I don't know. It's almost like it's like a sign or something. I don't know.
And he was like asking me the questions because I would answer them, and I was like, do you really want to know the answer why? And he's like, yeah, I kind of need to know because I don't know what they're doing is initiating something. And I was like, they're dropping it off to get your attention. And because these were a lot of human women, and a lot of the human women would drop off gifts and it's like they're trying to get you to notice them to see which gift that you like or like which gifts that you favor, and they're watching that because then they're just gonna drop off.
They trans my void. That actually would be an awesome John Wick. I'll ask her if she's sending psychic messages again. I would guess so. I'm getting some. I'm certainly getting some.
Off more and stuff. So that's essentially what was happening. Now, the other thing that I remember, which kind of led up to something, is that I had an experience where I was asking a question and someone was getting really, really angry at me. And it's like, how dare, and I even have the email from that experience from 2014. Okay. I still have that email that guy sent me. And the email is like, how dare you ask that question? I was like, well, the reason why I was asking it is because that memory kept popping up and I didn't know what it was about. So essentially I asked this reptilian being who was channeling on the reason why I kept having a dream where I wake up and there is constantly blood on my hands. And I didn't realize that was a cover memory or a overlap memory of my memory from the programs, of me being in the program's breeding program or one of their...
The what program? Okay, I think what we're waiting for is happening pretty soon here.
I thought someone was injured in Huculo or human colonies, and that's the reason why. And so that's the reason why I kind of asked that question, because I didn't know if that was from the programs. At the time, I didn't realize, but I thought that it was someone that was injured. But he's like, I can't believe that you asked that question, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're going to close this. And I was like, dude. And I was like, I didn't know that question was inappropriate to ask them. Like, I'm usually the type of person that if I'm going to be the scapegoat, I'm going to be the scapegoat and ask this question. And if it gets me kicked out, it gets me kicked out, but I got to ask this question. And so the next thing I know, after asking that question, I ended up getting haunted by that question for years to come. Like, what I mean by haunted is that they take and I didn't realize.
Okay, yeah, I'm sort of getting, apparently Huculo is a human colony. I must be remembering myself as a different guy who fucked her in space, maybe. I think, yeah. I might have been confused there.
I went to Amisha's group, who is part of the SSP community. And apparently what they do is that they will take an embarrassing moment or some sort of traumatic moment in your life, and they will put it on a loop or a feedback loop. And it's sort of like emotional trigger or like some sort of behavioral trigger about yourself. And I didn't realize that was targeting, but they were specifically taking embarrassing moments of my life, putting it on a feedback loop that was basically haunting me, that anything that had anything to do with remembering or trying to find some sort of sovereignty about myself or answers, that they would start to initiate that program where they will bring back embarrassing moments from my childhood, embarrassing moments from...
Yeah, yes, you're correct, Wallums. Yes. I also just remembered that. That is exactly the case, yes. Imagine trying to game and she's yapping all night to you like this. Yeah. Heaven.
Experiences throughout my entire life at different stages of my life to behaviorally control me to stop to think about certain stuff. So that was essentially what was happening. And this went on all the way through, I would have to say, all the way up until COVID, or even after COVID. And the one thing that I did in order to break that cycle is to essentially have an angry conversation with yourself. So essentially what I did is that once I started realizing after going to Amisha's group that this was targeting, one of the things that I did is start to have a conversation to whoever was doing this to me. Like, you don't, and I was like, I'm done having this. I'm done being haunted by this. So that is essentially what happened. The negative experience that happened to me, and sorry if this is going to be graphic, and this is the reason why I put a warning in the beginning of the video. But there was an experience that I remember where I woke up in a room. I don't know if my honeypot or my beta programming kicked in, because this is the reason why I thought that I was a double agent in this program, is because you had beta programming, where this programming is where they wanted you to essentially hook up with certain ETs to get information. I don't know if that was what they were doing to me, where I was essentially hooked up.
Okay, this is triggering a lot of this is triggering a lot of memories for me, guys. With
certain ETs to get information about what was happening in this type of program, or that they were trying to recruit people, if that makes sense. So I ended up waking up in this room, and I must have been in an altar or whatever you want to call it. And I wake up in this room, and I have this guy, this humanoid guy, having anal sex with me in this room. And it was starting to become extremely, extremely painful. And I do mean extremely painful. So essentially what I did after getting my senses and understanding what was happening, I sucker punched, back kicked this guy in the nuts. And he was welching in the pain on the floor. And I was like, I'm totally sick of this. And he was welching. He's be like, no, wait. And I was like, no, I'm leaving. I didn't care whether or not I was naked or not. I just didn't care at this point. And the reason why I didn't care is because I didn't have body image issues growing up. I did not have body image issues. So I was totally free. I was totally like okay walking out of that room naked. And the reason for that is an experience that I had in high school, which some people know about it, some people don't, but I'm not going to get into that.
Could.
So I ended up walking out of that room naked to a bar area or to a area, and I have this reptilian being who is a friendly reptilian being come up and basically put a cloak or clothing or like a cloak or a blanket over me. And he's like, and then he was telling me this being's name called Ezekiel, like, you need to find Ezekiel. And I was like, why? And this reptilian being was telling me about Ezekiel. And I didn't know who he was. I didn't know. And this is the reason why after several years after that experience, and the reason why I was totally obsessed in finding a being called Ezekiel. I didn't know if
okay,
was
wow.
Or slave,
that was something else. Or
whatever.
I feel like I just kind of blacked out there, but
I was completely obsessed. That is when my handler told me, and this is the reason how I came obsessed, is because they told me that Ezekiel, this being that this reptilian told me, was supposed to be my mate, or essentially my soulmate. And that's the reason how I became obsessed. But I didn't realize that that was a trick, or that was like a lure or whatever. So I didn't realize if that was something like a programmed in me or whatever. But I became obsessed with that name for an extremely, extremely long time, and it took me a long time to get out of It took me a long time to get out of being obsessed with that name. And essentially after that experience, a lot of things started to change. And that's when I started to realize, after that experience, after that whole ordeal experience, you want to know the strange thing that happened? So time moves very differently there. So that probably happened a couple of years ago after having that experiences, but that happened like a couple of weeks ago in human years, or a couple of days ago.
Okay, that was unbelievably hot. Holy mackerel. Wow.
Whoa!
Okay, we gotta cool down for a minute here, guys. We're gonna check in with what CIA agents have been doing to like Bigfoot or something. Who even cares?
Over 14 years, and I should know, I was part of the team doing it. What started as a joke assignment in 1980 turned into one of the most classified operations in agency history, and what we discovered about these creatures changed everything we thought we knew about national security.
Full story at the first comment.
The CIA has been tracking Bigfoot for over 14 years, and I should know.
Okay, and we have a link that I am 1,000,000,000% not clicking on. I just need to cool down for a bit, Myron. I'm on camera here. I'm trying to avoid a DSP type scenario. Ooh. Ooh, I thought maybe the CIA thing would also be hot. Anyway. Okay.
But up there, it happened like years ago.
I do need a
So
Baptist
after that
church fan,
experience,
real.
A couple of years went by in that program to the point where I had a Buddhist monk.
This is still
This guy looked
1.5,
like a
by
Buddhist
the
monk.
way.
He had a shaved head, Buddhist monk, and he told me that his name was Kenji. And I can spell out his name, which is KenJin. And
just like
he
Kenshi.
told
That's another thing we
me
have in
that
common.
He was the king of Era. And I was like, there's like no way. And he didn't tell me at first that he was the king of Era. But he just told me that his name was Kenjin, and we had a conversation. That's all the thing I remember.
Okay, they were just talking.
I didn't realize. Now,
yeah, Ben, I don't know if I followed everything.
Episodes.
I know, yeah, she wasn't popular at Reptilian High School. There was an extended period where she was naked. That I remember. And also some other things, perhaps. Yeah.
So the next time that I see this dude on base, he's proposing to me in the aviary or the holodeck room aviary in this place. And I was like, and I'm standing there and it's like, dude, I have no idea who you are. I have no fundamental memory of who you are. And I felt so bad. And I was like, I'm sorry that they took away.
But yeah, true, Wallums. There's a lot of synchronicities going on. Our sub count is almost the same. She's also a huge Kenshi fan. She's often hanging out naked, which is interesting. Anal sex also. I heard somebody mention that. She's also in the SSP, like I know at least most of us are. So yeah, there's just a lot of synchronicities that do sort of at least point in the direction of being the prophesied Chrome girl. Definitely.
My memory. I'm talking away, but I have no fucking clue who you are. And I felt really bad because you could feel like I was breaking this guy's heart. And I was like, it's not my fault that they erased a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years of our relationship down the drain. Like they completely erased it. And
so you're saying you're single now.
So, and I was like, I'm totally sorry. And then after that, they immediately woke me up, and I kept hearing this telepathic message, and he's like, he's the king of Era. And I was like, I'm sorry. It's just that I just don't remember our relationship. I don't know what led up to that point, or anything like that. So I don't know.
She's destined to be the show's Yoko Ono.
That was me turning into a political relationship. But this is where the programs came about, where you have the programs basically sabotaging a relationship. And this happens a lot. This probably happened a lot in this program or the Human Colonies, where they recruited a lot of people that they wanted to recruit but didn't realize that they were in the programs. So the programs basically sabotaged my relationship with this being, or this being who I thought that I had a relationship, that they sabotaged it because they erased years of our relationship, or even erased.
It's just crazy how this being that she was in this years-long relationship with, that now that she's forgotten, could literally be any one of us. It would be really helpful now if she could say a name, like a YouTube screen name, a Discord screen name, something like that. Because it really could be. I'm pretty confident this being that she's talking about is in the chat right now. Just there's too many synchronicities to discount that. So it definitely is the case that one of us was this being. I'm hearing some reports it's Myron. I don't know if I fully believe that yet. It could really be any of us. But it's definitely one of us. Maybe she'll say their YouTube screen name / Discord screen name further on in the video. Let's check.
Everything that I knew. So I kind of felt really, really bad that I basically broke this being's heart, and I was like, I'm really sorry. It's just that it's out of my hands. Like they erased it. There's no way of me getting back this memory.
Damn, I mean, I don't even want to consider the possibility that what if she is a Sasquatch and the being she's talking about is Peter Kane dog training. I don't even want to consider that. I've had many relationships in the astral realm, so many that I don't even remember their names, but I always remember the name Star Crystal 88.
Happened. And that is when they started having a lot of issues, because every single time that they started coming to get me for this program is that they would have issues with the SSP showing up. And it's like, you don't have jurisdiction to take her, you don't have jurisdiction here and stuff. And they were getting into a lot of legal battle. And this is the reason why I think the program shut down was because of me or some sort of political feud that happened.
I mean, that makes sense. Sort of a Helen of Troy scenario. Whole thing fell apart. One beautiful angel can do that. That's why there's no girls allowed in Chrome Boys. I'm not that into her. She's more way into me. Here's the thing. If she had a year or two of memory erased, it could have been every one of us. Whoa! Wow. I hadn't considered that, but that is extremely true, and also I would say probable, likely, and confirmed. What's the 88 all about? Yeah, she's an Aran. She's an Aran, a Garthan goddess, exactly, yes.
That, but they were also doing the hybridization program, so there was probably a lot of...
It could be Dr. Peanut Butter since they naturally reconnected without any outside influence. But it is true. It could be any, and it could be all of us. But it's definitely at least one of us. At least one, if not more.
Sex scandal. And the number one thing that they didn't tell people is that you had a lot of men that were recruiting into this program, but you didn't have a whole lot of women recruiting into this program. And I do mean human women recruiting. So they had a ratio problem between men and women, and they didn't understand the reason why. And I was like, I know the reason why, but you guys are not going to like my answer. So they had a ratio problem, but a lot of women did not want to join the hybridization program. And I know the reason why is because they didn't want to feel like they were sex workers. They didn't really want to. They essentially is that they essentially thought that by going into the hybridization program.
Yeah, exactly. One queen, but many soldiers. Exactly. Sounds more like she's remembering being with a Chrome man. Wow.
They would have.
Well, I mean, but in the SSP, maybe that was the case. You know, guys, it could be any one of us. True. Yeah, exactly. But it's actually me. Well, we haven't really confirmed that yet. It still could be me. It could be Wallums. Could be Myron. Could be any number of us. Roscoe, perhaps. Ben, maybe even. I don't know.
A relationship with their child's father, and that did not happen. The men, on the other hand, didn't care to donate their sperm to basically create a child because they knew that they wouldn't.
Baby, I don't think that's going to be a problem anymore.
Take care of that child. Human women knew that if they had a child, that it would be their responsibility to take care of the child. And they didn't know who was going to take care of the child. So that's the reason why they had more male going into the program than females. And they were really trying to fix this problem, but the damage was already done. Like the damage was already done. There was no point of going back and fixing it. So the next thing I know is something happened. So after that experience, I must have started to form a relationship with the cat being that was the key-ass being that was in this program or was in this area with human colonies. So I must...
Did she say cat being? Let's just roll back the tape there real quick.
Back and fixing it. So the next thing I know is something happened. So after that experience, I must have started to form a relationship with the cat being that was the key-ass...
Did she say cat being? What'd she say there?
So after that experience, I must have started to form a relationship with the cat being that was the key-ass being that was in this program or was in this area with human colonies. So I must have started a romantic relationship with this being because the next thing I remember is that I'm going down an elevator, which I'm pretty sure I'm either being sent back home or being sent to another area. So I'm going down the elevator, minding my own business. The next thing I know is that I have this cat being running up to me, basically kissing me and basically going off and jetting off into...
Yeah, that's ringing a lot of bells for me. I might have been the cat. I might have been the cat in this scenario, possibly.
A transport hub, or like an elevator where they transport people. And I was like, holy shit, like what was that? And I was like, wait, I don't know who you are. And I was like, I want to know what your name is, or like who, or what's going on. He didn't tell me much or anything. He just like...
No, I would have been a cat. I would have been a cat man, Myron, actually.
Kiss me, jet it off, and be like... So I don't know if he was threatened by the programs to end our relationship, because of political strife that was going on, or that someone was threatening his life. And that's something that a lot of people don't kind of realize what is happening. So that was essentially what was happening as well in this program. So after the human colony shut down, I didn't have a whole lot of contact with the programs, but there was some instances where a lot of memories started to come and resurface, and I started having a lot of interesting.
No, Myron. No, not a cat girl, cat man. It's different. More similar to like a Khajiit or sort of a tiger warrior type thing, but not a cat girl. Let's not spread any no.
I kind of remember as time went on that a lot of beings said that a lot, like the main head person did not really like me. It's either because I had a lot of attention on me, or that I was the cause of the shutdown of these programs or human or Huculo. Like they literally had a website which was basically run by hybrids that got shut down, and I don't know if I was the cause of it because I was a double agent, or
damn, I wonder where that website is. Whoa, she has a book?
Or there was more going on. The other memory is that I do remember a couple of people from it, but I would like to hear more experiences from
Space School Lessons. Wow, she has a book. That's awesome. Should I spend $12.26? It's on sale. Whoa, normally it's $70, but now it's only $12.26. I would be basically insane not to buy that. Kind of losing money at that at that like much of a discount. You're kind of losing money not buying it. The SSP has websites. Apparently, but they got shut down. They were run by hybrids. Hugh's headphones have cat ears under the hat. Well, there's really no way to check that. Hugh is basically a badass tiger that was transferred into a human body or something like that. We don't really know for sure. Exactly. I'm pretty sure she was talking about me though. Just hacked Hugh's Space Amazon account and saw a cat schoolgirl outfit on his wish. Well, somebody must have hacked that into my wish list. I think that's the only explanation there. But yeah, it looks like I'm going back to space school. But no, there's not a physical copy. It's only on YouTube. But it is at an 82% discount, which is a pretty good deal.
Other people that were in Hugo.
Does it have a paperback?
Because I think there was a lot more going on.
Oh, it does have a paperback, but it's $50. Holy shit. I mean, I spent that on the James Rink book. But yeah, I don't know. Is it worth it to spend $54? We'll see.
I started to realize the reason why they were starting to recruit people is because you had a lot of...
I'm getting a memory of you putting it on your wish list and clapping your hands when you did it. I think that might be a false inserted memory. That would probably be my best guess for that scenario, that somebody inserted that memory to damage me somehow. That was probably his cat girl stepsister back when he was a badass tiger guy. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. How far into the James book are you? I haven't actually started it yet. I am intending to, but I haven't really got around to it yet, but I will. It's because she has to have made individually. Yeah, oh man, she's probably... Would it be disrespectful for me to say that she's probably binding it using pussy juice? Yeah, I think that'd be disrespectful. I retract that. I retract that statement.
Men wearing black uniforms show up, and they were assessing and trying to find people. I think they were trying to find their assets that were trying to escape from the programs or escape.
Yeah, it was. Don't worry. I've already retracted the statement. We're good.
And I don't know if I don't know if the Palladians set this up to help some of the people escape from the programs, or to wake up that they were in the programs, or to expose what was going on in the programs, or what was going out on space and stuff. But there was a lot of political jargon that happened. But something like I don't know if I was a catalyst to expose what was going on in the SSP or be like a whistleblower, but something happened which catapulted somebody from that time period to come out with a confession. Like, I don't know if I was a main catalyst or not, but that's essentially what happened. But on the other hand...
Yeah, that would be incredible if Gaines tuned in at that moment to show his wife it's normal.
What I do consciously remember is that
50 Canadian kopecks is probably like 35, 40 freedom tokens.
This entire experiences, or the experiences that I had with Hucolo, whether they were good or positive, made a fundamental impact on my life that changed or rerouted the course, and I started to get the answers that I was looking for. And like, I don't see it as they were all completely horrible, that like with everything there are always flaws and stuff, but overall, like, I had a really, really positive experiences, even though that some of the beings there knew who I was and I didn't know who I was and stuff. But that's essentially what happened. I don't know what else happened, to be honest.
Wow, what an incredible story, and also extremely hot. Really good. Wow. Wait, in this one, is she OnlyFans to spiritual? Is she gonna interview a beautiful alt Nubian queen in this one?
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Starseed Netlink. And today we have a guest
boys.
Channel, and this is Jordan, that also goes by 3i Tribe. Jordan is a friend that I know once in a while. She interacts with my feed on my YouTube channel.
I'm surprised she skipped over the part where I fucked her. If she was my family, I'd be pushing her to say grace every Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's being a good brother. But yeah, we're gonna let her cook for a moment here.
On my other feed on my Facebook, and she is here today to basically share her story and give some insight about some stuff. So
this is one of her SSP girlfriends right here, actually.
Go ahead, Jordan. Share a little bit of
this. What an incredible channel.
About who you are and a little bit about your story.
Okay. The thing about me is I feel like I have a mission to accomplish like everyone else. So the whole me telling everyone about myself, I'm not going to get too far deep into it, into my traumatic experiences, because I have this like laid out. That can come later. But from this point of view that I'm coming from.
What's crazy about this chick is she appears to have 2 extra eyes on her face, or possibly little bats. I'm guessing that's some sort of human hybrid scenario. I don't quite know what, but she's sort of some sort of hybrid, I think, is what's going on there. I'm learning quite a bit about dating. I think we all are. I think as a community, we've all decided that we're going to start getting into dating, and I think this is the best way for us to sort of research the female mind. So once we fully get into it, there won't be any surprises left.
Is I am 31 years old.
Yeah, SSP gene seed implanted. True.
Throughout my whole life, treated differently, never belonged, and it's not like other people say. Some I look at it from a feminine and a male perspective. Some people say they don't get along with girls if they hang out with the other sex, or vice versa. Me, I don't fit in with any sex, and I mean sex as in sexual, like what they would call themselves. And this is where this is all going to tie in, and where confusion can be had. So.
I mean, beat your shit is a rather disrespectful term, but I mean, if you could sort of come up with some sort of SSP ritualistic term, I think that would probably be okay. If there was sort of like a sci-fi thing, like maybe you're expelling thetans or something like that, I think that would probably be a more respectful way to frame that whole scenario. Astrally beat your shit. That's yeah, astrally beat your shit. That's different. That's fine. That's fine. Nobody could complain about that.
Oh, the thing about me is I'm into a lot of masculine things, which makes people interpret me masculine. And I want people to understand how dangerous this is, because growing up I played video games. If you name anything that a girl might play with, I played with the opposite, except it was a boy. So you say Barbies, G.I. Joes for me. A girl had like, I don't even know, like a Barbie dollhouse. I had a castle, a dragon.
Okay, this is really highlighting the risk of SSP or Troon. Those are like the only options available to the youth these days. This is really yes, calibrated your stimulus rod. Yes, that sounds fine. That sounds different, actually. But yeah, this is really highlighting, you can either Troon out or remember you're at time in the SSP. The only options.
Stuff like that. My mom she handled me so amazingly whenever I was younger. Like and I played video games a lot too, which, I wouldn't say now, but like back then that was really rare for girls to be into video games. Like, so I was always this child that was out of place. And pretty much what I want to get at is this thing with what they're doing to children in online spaces. This is coming from somebody who grew up literally on the internet, like the peak of getting online, talking to people. I'm the tech I wouldn't call myself a tech bro, but I'm just like the tech girl in my family. Anyone like has a problem, they would come to me about it. So online, I have experienced having to navigate through these. I'm not gonna lie, I have like, and this is coming, and I know like timelines can be different. People can say what they want, but if anybody knows anything about gaming, there's a game called SOCOM Confrontation. It was made by the U.S. Navy SEALs.
Wow, I literally used to play SOCOM all the time. Gamer girl alert. The synchronicities are piling up, guys. I was a big into SOCOM too back in the day. So yes, she is base confirmed. She just like me for real.
I remember getting it because it came with a headset. And this has to do with programs too. Whenever I was young, and I was probably like 10 or 11,
SOCOM 2 was incredible. It was actually wild that they never made an online shooter that good ever again. Anyway,
got that game, I was on there having to co-op with grown adults who play video games. You know, they were already into computers. So I'm talking about me being 10, 20 years older than me, 25 years older than me, some in their 19. And some people look at me when I'm like, yeah, I used to play with grown men. Like they're like, I don't know why it zooms out, by the way. Like people will project onto that. They'll be like, oh my God, you were a little girl dealing with grown men. And I'm like, damn, this is really how society is twisted. My experience never has a man, like older men ever.
But yes, it's a hot autism conference. She is talking about me. Yes, SOCOM was awesome. Yeah, there's just so many synchronicities going on right now. It's hard to keep track of all of them, basically.
It was always like, shut up, like little girl.
Yeah, SOCOM, the thing about SOCOM, like the voice chat, it took them like literally 20 years for another game to have a voice chat that worked as well as that. I think maybe it was some government something or other, but it was crazy how well their in-game voice chat worked. And then for like over a decade after, no other game like pulled that off.
Girl, you know, you have to do good in the game. So like it was never any pedophilic stuff. But I understand within spaces, that's where it happens. So I'm able to talk from a masculine and a feminine perspective. And I heard Arkeem mention this, and I don't label myself, but hermaphrodite would be a good word for. I thought it was something different, but I would not see myself as one sex because I hold both energies. So I can cohabitate in like both fields. And then this is where we'll get into the body and where this can be blurred between people, grown adults. Because I just told you I was how young, 10, 12. Think about 12-year-olds now compared to what I was. The same thing is happening, but the media will program you. Just like MK Ultra, you can say whatever. They program us. With OnlyFans is the one thing, and I mean, it all started out with the pandemic. I say it was all planned. What happened during the pandemic? Fortnite, staying in the house, Uber, DoorDash. What things popped off during then that was just so perfect? And one of them was gaming. It was the peak of gaming when the pandemic dropped. That was Fortnite. And that can go into another subject, digital currency and how they're programming people with just digital environments.
I wish our queen would pipe in here and there. This chick's been yapping for over 5 minutes. Hermaphrodite has some other requirements, I think. I feel like a hermaphrodite as a Chromeboy girl. Well. Just joined. Have you covered Fourth Dimension Bigfoot yet? We did do a lot of Bigfoot stuff earlier. We got a little bit distracted, if I'm being real. I think we came to the conclusion that Bigfoot is real. We had some interesting dives into the Big Void scenario and what can happen there if you get exceptionally lucky in the woods. But now we're trying to find the link between this and Bigfoot, and I think we're making a lot of great progress. The heavies are so entrancing. She's building a case and ready to destroy with facts and logic. That could be. She's letting her sort of build her own, pit in the jungle with leaves over it and spikes at the bottom. That's probably what's going on, yeah.
But now we're talking about OnlyFans came out, and I like to joke because I'm a recovering addict. So I say, but I never in a sexual way was I ever addicted to sex. But I like to say I'm a recovering OnlyFans girl because I want people to understand that I'm not ashamed of it. Oh, I just flipped off. I meant to. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not like I talk about my OnlyFans as a way of a coping mechanism, and I do it for other people and online openly. And for 18 and older or younger girls that want to get into the field, I feel like it's important for girls to admit if they didn't like it for their spirituality. I remember you asking me your sex and spirituality. That made me think, holy crap, that's so linked, and like so much stuff started to like make sense for me. And I'm like, yes, it does, because I'm celibate. During whenever I started my OnlyFans, and this is when OnlyFans was a few months in, because the time period is very important, and I'll tell you why in a sec. So OnlyFans launched.
Sorry, who's David Paulides? Missing 411, the work of David 'Paulides? 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 '
launched off, and I didn't.
Regarding Bigfoot, yeah, we might circle back to Bigfoot next week. I mean, it was sort of, we uncovered so many truth acorns earlier on the stream. We all just kind of needed to, like, you know, sit back, relax with our baby girl for a little bit, because there was some pretty high stakes Bigfoot stuff we uncovered earlier.
Get into a little bit later, but I got in at the.
This girl is an energy vampire. I 1,000,000,000% agree with you, Ben. Not to be trusted. Hopefully our queen stays safe here, because I'm not loving where this is going right now.
Right point.
Missing 411 should be on the Noid list. I've never even heard of that. That might be worth looking into.
And I think I only stayed in a year. So whenever I got in,
no, she's not spoken. Maybe in the intro, but it's been at least 6 minutes since she said anything. And let's just skip to a random moment here and see what happens.
Oh, they're going to go into these programs.
Let's go.
Hybridization program as well.
It's not about children. I promise you, they don't care about children on the internet. I talk about it to the point where, like, people think I'm crazy. How much? I mean, hashtag save the.
What is missing 411? I've never even heard of this. Missing 411. Oh, it's a movie or documentary or something. Kids go disappear. Okay, we can look into that at some point. And yeah, we'll circle. I mean, I would say we kind of solved the case on Bigfoot, and that it is real. And there's also, like, kind of, we saw the footage, guys. There's, like, hot Bigfoot girls out there doing crazy things to dog trainers in the woods. So we kind of cracked that case. Although, I mean, if we have to circle back to it later, we will, for sure.
The children on pretty much any app, and you'll probably find me.
If we research the missing 411, we'll end up right back here. Yeah, it all comes back around at the end of the day. She's out the yams out on display, and I'm respecting her for it so hard right now. I think we all are.
And they're talking about children, so I know, and I don't have kids, so I know how much people don't care. So coming from this space, I'm trying to, like, bridge the gap in between sex, safe spaces, and then this community, which I come from the Twitch community, a gamer community, and that's a harsh environment. And
does this chick even know anything about the SSP? This is tiresome. We need our queen to interject and drop some truth acorns on.
I mean, these communities, they don't know, like, us younger, and I will say us younger generation, and I even look at you like you're older, like, because you're more wise. But, like, it's just, like, the feeling of, like, you know, but I still think of myself as young, and I can still be, like, I could still pop off. Like, people don't understand that. Spiritual journey is about the journey of becoming something. It doesn't mean I'm not going
to, like, the boomers or the generations. And I was like, did you guys know that you guys had milk cartons and actual television commercials asking parents, do you know where your children are?
It was built this way. Yeah, the system was built on pedophilia.
And I was like, your parents really did not care about you guys growing up. No wonder why you guys are so traumatized as a generation. You don't even know it.
Yep.
And I was like, this is the reason why our generation doesn't want to have children. It was because why would you want to have children that you know that are going to go into these programs? If you are from a satanic bloodline, or if you are in the programs, there is a high probability that your children are in the programs as well.
Well, CP, I mean, I think I think the answer to that is yes, and we all do, but we tactfully ignore it. Yeah, really, Bigfoot, yeah. And
I felt that responsibility, and I don't think you have kids either. And someone told me you chose not to have kids, like, and I'm like, I really don't even want kids because I don't want them to grow up in this society. Everything would have to collapse.
Like, and I'm talking to these people who are, you know, hybrid parents, and just be like, so how does your hybrid children think about this? Like, how are they handling it? And I was like, and
this actually could be a Bigfoot link. What if Bigfoot is like an SSP hybrid type thing? Skinwalker Ranch circa 1996, before all the History Channel co-opted BS, was a legit supernatural explosion. A science team observed Bigfoot, UFOs, shadow creatures, poltergeists, etc. in the mid-90s. Yeah. Yeah, I think Skinwalker Ranch is on the list. We'll have to research that at some point. I don't really know too much about it.
And everything, and like this goes into a much more deeper, complex issue than what people realize. And our planet, our human race, whether people want to admit it or not, but sex has been used as a weapon for a vast majority of human history. Marriage was not for love. It was for survival for women.
Yes, and I don't, religion gotta go. I don't have no religion, but I understand religion very much and I know a lot of information. That's it. So whenever I say, oh, this text, I listen.
Okay, I don't. Okay. Let's see what else is good in the last couple days. Let's do a little outfit check. Wait, who's this guy muscling in? I don't like this at all. Who's this?
Interplanetary scale politics are going to become highly relevant in the human collective the next.
I'm starting to think all these alien encounters are just molestations they don't know how to comprehend. Well,
few decades. It's hard to say how like how fast these global timelines interplanetary.
Like, who is this guy? How did he earn the right to speak to her? Doctor Peanut Butter, you gotta get on her stream, man. You gotta do it. If that guy is. Okay, what do we got here for our last little bit here? Let's see what's up with Mr. Bob Hickman.
It's time for Facebook Live. I've got with me the Facebook star, Amber. She is Amber Stein. Anyway, you make me feel like dancing. I was singing AC/DC with Amber today. What to go?
They are so insanely looks matched.
No, that's the balls to
perfect couple.
Anyway, Amber is out and free and ready to be Amber. Oh, Amber wants to go.
Well, once you get into Bob Hickman lore, you understand that all of these, he does have a tendency to have, sort of like puppeteering, like mind slave type things, I think is what's going on.
Somewhere, but we don't know where to go, so we might drive by your house. You never know. Amber wants to go. The comments are going to start coming.
I mean, this is. I'm getting a sort of like she was his queen and she was crazier than him vibes off of this so far. But let's see where it goes.
See if the comments would come up right away. She would be more interested in this, but the comments come up so slow that Amber is a very impatient person. She's patient, but it runs out real quick. After about 5 seconds, her patience is up, so these comments better start coming up real quick. Amber likes comments. She likes doing Facebook Live. She likes making videos. She likes the Marion County Jail.
Oh, this is sped up. Okay.
She was the star down there. She was telling her stories like the three CPO was telling the stories to the Munchkin crowd. He was telling the Star Wars stories. Amber was telling stories in jail. She goes, yeah, I did. I did walk down to the street. I did walk up 16th Street. I did all that. Anyway, I don't want to keep Amber on here very... Oh, there's comments. They're finally coming. Let's see. Amber likes her comments.
Okay, this guy gets it. Harley Quinn to your Joker, exactly.
Look, Franklin is saying hi, Amber. Say hi to Franklin. Say, hi, Franklin. How's Franklin? Yes, that's the Franklinstein. Oh,
God, imagine like, I don't know, being like stuck in an elevator with these two. Holy shit. Instagram likes calling Amber a dude. That's rather rude. Amber looks like the singer of Against. He's a very powerful psychic wizard is the vibe I'm getting, and he's mind-dominating this void and smoking meth with her. Yeah, real.
Whoa. Anyway, Amber wants me to take her somewhere, and...
Yeah, stuck in a shipping container by these two. That's probably more accurate.
I had
more
to coach
likely.
her. I had to get her into this Facebook Live mood. Yeah. Some people are ready, some people are born ready, and some people have to be made to get ready. Ain't that right? Is that another Franklin? Franklin, it's Heather.
Yeah, this video is actually like scary as fuck. Like, what are they doing?
Heather, is that your name now?
No.
Yeah, this is straight up looking into the void. This is like, I mean, we've watched a few of this guy's videos, and they usually do have a kind of like unsettling and kind of spooky, and there's like extreme darkness going on, and they're all filmed in like a Buffalo Bill basement. But this one is like maybe the worst one yet from Mr. Hickman. Yeah, listen. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. I didn't want to send you guys off into the world fully diamond from our last videos. So this is so everyone can safely stand up wearing shorts or whatever.
Courageous. Hello, that's Nikki Barron. Like Barron. That sounds like a castle man type name. The Baron will be with you in a moment. Is that how the butler would answer to her? Hello. Is that how he did on Rocky Horror Picture Show? Okay, I think perhaps you both better come inside.
Yeah, it is one of those things where, like, if you saw on the news that, like, Bob Hickman was accused of doing something, like, unspeakably horrific, you would kind of be like, well, yeah, that makes a lot people.
What did he say? He goes, you're wet.
Everybody, 8,440 people and more on Facebook. 1,000,000% saw it coming.
It's just like, yes, it's raining. Can't you tell? Oh.
I don't want to do trivia.
We've kept them around here. Now, how does that AC/DC song go?
IDC.
Get the wall.
Yeah, even for Bob, that one is that's rough. Let's see what Super Galactic's up to real quick here. I believe Jason Breshares is innocent. Okay.
Hi everyone, this is Super Galactic, and I'd like to welcome y'all to my YouTube channel. And what I want to talk about is Jason Breshares and how I've been looking at my Google Analytics, and I've seen where people have kind of been looking at an old video that I did a while back where I was accusing Jason Breshares of being a sex offender. I want everybody to know that I've changed my views on that after thoroughly looking at what really happened.
That's so awesome to just make a video accusing someone of being a sex offender and then make a follow-up where you're like, never mind. Never mind.
With that whole case, I found out patterns about the state of Texas. The state of Texas has got a pattern of giving people the death penalty for crime they did not commit. They got a pattern of that.
Again, 0. Damn.
And also looked at the testimony that Jason Breshares gave. Also looked at the testimony that his ex-girlfriend gave. And I realized all that was never presented in the court when he was being tried, which tells me that the government with all in Texas, in the state of Texas,
I can't find any
they were
trace of this guy.
covering
Okay,
it
never
up.
mind.
And I think the reason why they were covering it up is...
Yeah. Yeah, Myron. So, long story short, Bigfoot is real. We proved it. What were other key findings from the case? Not only is Bigfoot real, Bigfoot is real. You can do some crazy-ish in the woods. Let's just look at her real quick here. Bigfoot is real. Bigfoot is real.
My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. My man with a 10-foot pole. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. My man wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole.
No, we can't get a physiognomy check on Jason Breshares because he doesn't even seem to exist. Or at least, like, it seems unlikely to me there's some guy getting the death penalty who doesn't get, like, a single Google story. Lily Nova Starseed. Oh, yeah, this one, yeah. Numbers game. Oh, this guy rules. All right, guys. I think that's about all for me for tonight. I think we uncovered some powerful truth acorns here tonight. There's the one unfortunate incident which ended the stream, but we don't need to get into that. Bigfoot was always real, but now we know Bigfoot wants to rape us, sometimes consensually. Yeah, exactly. Anyone know Justice Schramm? It's some artist who makes fan fiction of the cartoon home movies. Interesting. That is nice. Wait, you met this guy, the sports gematria guy? Yo, actually, real quick before we peace out for the night. Whoops. Let me just do this over here quickly. Gematria calculator. Let's just do this real fast here. Okay, Bigfoot in Hebrew gematria is 224. Other hits: Corona. Does that ring any bells? Damar Hamlin. Madison, Messi, Oscar, Nathaniel, Pepsi. Oh, you know Zach. Zach is the sports gematria guy, right? Yeah, Zachary Hubbard. What was he protesting in Portland? Like a football game result or something? Oh, wow. Bigfoot lines up perfectly in Jewish gematria with Sodom. Much to consider there. Also, Angela Merkel. Hitler. Nikkei. Massage. Scorch the earth with weird little umlauts. Oh, no COVID lockdown crap. Oh, okay, that's cool. He's extremely nice and very grounded. He's extremely deep into his thing. Gematria by his family, and that's his priority. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's based. Bigfoot, Akam Shabar, adopted, Mahomet. Yeah, I'm thinking the most important ones here that I'm seeing connections from: Sodom and Angela Merkel, and Bigfoot. They're all the same. When you get to gematria, they're all the same. All right, guys. That's all for me for tonight. Y'all know what time it do.
Hello.
All right. Let's rock and roll.
I love this song.
Yeah.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
Alright, guys.
I search to find the love within.
Wait, real quick. Does this Justice Schramm have a lazy eye? Y'all know how I love lazy eye Noid, guys. Let me look him up. If he has a lazy eye. Oh, he's got a lazy eye. Oh, he's got a lazy eye. That's awesome.
Back to let you know.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Got a thing for you, and I can't let
Thank you for joining me on this Sunday night Logic stream. Actually, a Noid stream. Hidden Noid stream.
While I'm in the days from your love, you see.
Uploading an episode to Patreon once I sign off here.
I got a thing for
Sonic
you,
Wednesday on Wednesday.
let go.
Oh yeah. Episode 300 is this close to almost starting to be done. This close.
What you will do for love.
You tried everything.
Have a good night, everybody. Have a good week. Why not?
In my world, only you make me do for love.
Oh, I bet you wonder what's going on the Patreon. Big things coming. Big things already came.
Well, I'm in the days from your
Bigfoot is real.
To let you know
Bigfoot is real.
I've got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
If you think hard enough,
Oh, I only want the best.
you might be a super secret soldier, space soldier, super soldier too.
I do for you.
Join the Patreon for more Bigfoot secrets. We unlocking the esoteric secrets on the Patreon, y'all. Bigfoot is real, and she wants you. Ooh.
In my world, only you make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I
CP, that is not a necessity. It helps.
Make me do for love.
It definitely helps. But you can also just try and remember hard enough. If you try to remember hard enough, you could have been anything. You could be a space assassin, a space pilot, or even a beautiful honeypot. Either way. Or a tiger guy, whatever. Alright, gang. Alright, gang. Have a good night. Thank you for joining me. I'll see y'all next time.